J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity? Like, there's a white genocide going on in the world. White people are being systematically replaced in America and Europe through immigration and to a much lesser extent due to intermarrying. This guy has a non-white wife and a kid named Vivek. This guy is going to be a defender of white identity? I don't think so. This guy's going to defend American identity? If he does, it's going to be no better than any of these other civic nationalists like Vivek Ramaswamy. How else could you countenance American identity if you have a mixed up family like that?
Well, that's our buddy Nick Fuentes, the one that we always talk about, the white nationalist, calls himself a Christian nationalist, wanted to be a Christian world with segregation and everything else, a perverted version of Christianity. You heard how he talks. And this is one of the guys that Brandon Biggs, this new self-proclaimed prophet I know he doesn't call himself a prophet, whatever he calls himself, he claims to get messages from the Lord all the time. This is who he supports. This is why Brandon Biggs, for those of you that's come across this video, he's a nationalist. He's a Christian nationalist. I believe that he had Alex Jones on his channel. And if you have subscribed to this guy and continue to listen to him, then you need to maybe take a look in the mirror and wonder, like, why are you supporting someone that supports racism and support a segregated society and degrades others? But this message right here is for, I was just thinking that's the mindset of these people. I made a short yesterday there where I'm talking about, you can't make, no matter how much it's disappointing. And no matter how much we don't like it, we cannot make somebody become a Christian. See, in his mind, Nick Fuentes, he wants the world to be basically has this white nationalism and wants to push everyone else to the front, any other type of minority, women and everybody to the end, push them to the back of society because they feel like that they're losing ground and things. He's so upset, Nick Fuentes is. He's so upset that he's turning against Trump because his hope is a lot of these Proud Boys and the white nationalists and all of them, that their hope is in Trump to restore things and for some kind of way with their warped sense of ideology in society and put things back in place. That's their hope. So listen to him upset talking about Trump and how he's going to blow it up if it comes down to it. Take a listen.
We're going to punch him in the nose and say, hey, listen up. You are failing us. We want Trump to win. We want America first. But you are letting us down. You're blowing it. This is the biggest missed opportunity in history. You're blowing it for Trump. You're blowing it for us. And we're not going to let it happen. And we're going to give them a little time. And if they don't fix it, I will escalate my tactics in swing states. I will go to swing states. I will go to the ones where they're in trouble the most. And I will make it worse. And I'll bring the Groypers with me. And that I vow. Because I have to save the Trump campaign from itself.
And that's Nick Fuentes. You see that? That's where he's at. He's frustrated. He's frustrated because Trump ain't doing what he wants him to do, the way that he's conducted himself. Because so many people, as I mentioned, even Marcus Rogers, which I don't understand, as a minority of himself, like, well, this nationalist folks don't give a darn about him. But it's just funny because he's frustrated and he's pushing the conspiracies and nonsense right along with it. But, back to the point that I want to make. And that is, we know, that we talk about these people that push the narrative and the lie that America was founded as a Christian nation.
Incorrect to say. The truth is this: America was founded as a Christian nation, and our success as a nation depends upon our fidelity to God's word.
And I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk. It's not in the Constitution. It was in a stinking letter, and it means nothing like what they say it does.
When the founders configured this new nation, they recognized that religious establishment was a form of tyranny. It tyrannized the people. And so they came up with this radical idea that the people themselves should determine how they wanted to worship rather than have that dictated by the state.
The separation of the state from the church is a key Baptist confessional principle that predates the United States of America. Because people have to come to God one by one through new birth, someone cannot be claimed as a Christian because of citizenship in a state. So if the state or the culture bullies people out of openly expressing their religious views, you don't end up with Christians, you end up with pretend Christians. And as an evangelical Christian, I don't think that takes anyone to heaven.
That is absolutely wrong. And you need to do your homework, go back, take some history classes or whatever. It was not founded as a Christian nation. And that's the narrative that they continue to push. And they say that, and that gives them, by them saying that, and excuse my voice, I'm losing my voice. Wife has been sick, and I'm like, I hope I'm not getting sick. But that's the narrative that they're pushing because they feel like that gives them a free pass to go around and Bible bash people and try to force Christianity on the people. And that's why they're doing that. So they're trying to force Christianity on the people at all costs. Basically saying, well, because America was founded as a Christian nation, the founding fathers were all Christian and all of this or that. And they're throwing out, the first about the, freedom of religion and people to practice what they want to practice and saying, no, you don't get to do that. And then, someone tried to say something about, made a comment there about when I commented about the 10 Commandments being in the schools and then the free lunches being taken away or something to that effect. But the point is that you want to talk about opening Pandora's box because, okay, you want to force religion on your Christianity on the people. That open the Pandora's box because the Church of Satan, Muslim, you start naming off various religions can go to court and file and have their stuff posted up in the school as well. So go ahead and open Pandora's box and think that because it's separation of church and state, whether you like it or not. You cannot make somebody love the Lord. I don't know what is so hard about that. Why do people feel like you can force somebody to love the Lord? If a person's gonna get right, some people are never going to get right. I heard a pastor say many years ago, it made me, before I got married, make the right decision. And I give you this word of wisdom that I learned over 25 years ago when I heard this. And this particular pastor said, some people are always going to be what they're going to be. And when I heard that, at the time of a particular person that I was considering marrying, and I saw their attitude, they claimed that they loved the Lord, and it was showing otherwise. They were acting like a total unbeliever in certain things that I knew them prior to coming to the Lord, and I saw that there was no evidence of being any change anytime soon. And that opened my eyes. And that's a word of wisdom for many of you out there. There's some people in your life that, or whether that you come in contact with, that it's going to be what they're going to be. You just plant the seed, and the Lord will do the rest. Don't stress yourself about somebody. Hey fellas, if she don't like you, you can't make a woman like you. And same vice versa. You can't make people do things that they don't want to do. If they don't love you, and God forbid if you're with someone and they've fallen out of love with you, that's a hard one, because that, to get that back can be very challenging. But it's up to them. And when they make the decision, and you have to understand that no matter how much you tell somebody about the Lord, no matter how much you try to show them their wrongs and show them the scriptures, and whether you take them to church over and over again and do all of the various things, if they're not ready, and if they're not ready to change and walk away, as the rich young ruler, they're going to walk away grieving, and some won't walk away grieving. They're just going to walk away and say to heck with it, because they don't want to hear it from you anyway, because they're not ready to give up that sin, give up themselves, or the sin, or if they're in a willful, sinful, certain things that are obvious and things like that. Some people just don't want to give it up. They're not ready. So you have to get that in your mind, that you can only do so much. You can only do so much with that child of yours. You trained them up the way that they should go. You did various things the best that you can do with them. And sometimes they'll still be hard-headed. Your husband or your wife may not listen, and maybe you got converted, and they still not converted yet. You continue to be that example, continue to be that light. Maybe the Lord, that happened with my aunt and uncle. My uncle, before he passed, he had wandered off, and my aunt was like, I'm just going to keep praying for him, because he's not going to worry me to death. And he ended up turning it around enough to where when I began preaching and certain things, and he would come to my services, and we'd be talking about the Bible and watching, because we love watching boxing and things, and football, but especially boxing. And we'll Saturday night, and we'll have great conversations about the Lord. So even though he lost his life, he loved his motorcycles and lost his life early due to a motorcycle accident. As he's laying there in that casket, I knew one thing. I said, I smiled, because I said, he looked so much, as they say, he looked peaceful. He looked like he was asleep. And if you are part of the Lord, that's what you are. You're asleep. You're not in death. There's a difference. So that's a whole different video, debate or whatever. But he was, I know that he made things right, that he got himself back on track. And that's all you have to do. You have to know that you've done your best. And unfortunately, many of these nationalist type people that you see, that we've talked about, these people that are in the forefront, especially the main ones, because I got to tell you something about it in another video of Robert Jeffress. This guy's a joke. Him and his buddies and Tony Perkins and all of them. I have to show you that on another video. But these people that are in the main forefront, that are trying to push Christianity on society and force people to worship the Lord at all costs, they've got this totally, I don't know what Bible they've got. I don't know where they grabbed, is it a Bible that's been rewritten of some sort? Because that's not how you do it. You're doing more damage than good. Because when you conduct yourself like that and try to be the fixer-upper, and instead of allowing the Lord and the Holy Spirit to be the one to do the fixing, you just do nothing but more damage. And you're going to be responsible for destroying them souls. So if I was you, step aside and let the Lord do the work. Get out of the way. Hush up. You don't have to try to, sometimes Christians talk too much. Sometimes you talk way too much. You talk so much that you become super religious. You come around family and friends and you just blah, blah, blah. And that's a Bible pastor and family are just sitting there or friends are just like, oh God, here she or she come again. Get this. Some people can't even talk a regular conversation without always sounding like they're just super holy, holy, holy. Well, you know, calm down, relax. It doesn't have to be that serious. You know, but on this channel, it's serious when I see that people are being misled and destroyed. And that's why we call out these false teachers and anybody that's proclaiming to speak in the name of the Lord and they're twisting the scriptures and leading folks otherwise. That's what we do. And we take the devil head on and punch it right in between the chops. Evangelism for God of the channel. My name is Maurice Braxton. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.